What's up, Fight Fam? Welcome to Boxing Bros. I'm Caden. I'm here with my co-hosts. I'll let them introduce themselves. You on mute, brother. Trill already. I don't know what's in that cup. I don't know what's in that cup, but Trill's already.
It's my cup.
All right,
what's going on, everybody? This is Trill.
This is G.
You already know it's TVE. What up, world?
Yeah, Ned was going for a bike ride when he had to stop to record. So
dressed like Deontay Wilder during training camp. Yeah.
Stop it.
All right, what we're gonna do right now is rate Vasiliy Lomachenko. All right, so please bear with us as we dive in, and I'm gonna start this one off with Trill Dollar Bill. What do you rate Vasiliy Lomachenko's power?
I give Lomachenko a 90. I give Lomachenko a 90 on power.
Right.
I think a lot of his punches come from a accumulation of punches, and his speed sets up a lot of his knockdowns and stuff like that. And it's his work rate that gets people out of there. You know what I'm saying? Usually people are unprepared against a Lomachenko.
All right. I respect that. G, what do you give Lomachenko's power?
Yeah, for his power, I gave him a 92. At 130 and 135 pounds, Loma's like body punches or elite level. He hurt Gary Russell in the 12th. He made undefeated Axeman and Rigondeaux both quit on the stool. That was crazy, you know. And he also knocked out Linares in the 10th round with a body shot. And Linares is like a big lightweight like fighter. So, you know, he got the power to lay out a lot of dudes. He dropped Pendraza in the twice in the 11th round. So, the dude got power, man. He got pop. I agree with what Trill was saying. It's really more the accumulation of the punishment that forces guys out of there, you know. And so, but the fact is, he still got guys quitting and guys getting laid out. So that's why I give him a 92.
All right. Well, I'm going to go next because we have Ned the cameraman, and Lord knows what he's going to give Vasiliy Lomachenko for power. So for power, I gave Vasiliy Lomachenko 92. I mean, he's a little guy. So as far as little guys go, he shows power. He has guys quitting. He's hurting guys. He's dropping guys. And he has great technique. So a lot of times I feel like Vasiliy Lomachenko is one of those guys. He could probably have more knockouts if that's the way he fought. But his style is always to be an intelligent boxer in the ring. If he gets you hurt, he'll go for the kill, but he doesn't press for the knockout. So he's shown good punching power, especially for his size. So for his size, I gave him a 92. Ned, what do you give Vasiliy Lomachenko for power?
For power, first off, I want to say y'all bugging. Lomachenko's power need to be respected. I gave that boy 1,000. Let me stop. I gave Lomachenko 89, and I agree with everything you guys said. Like, he's not the type to with one hit a quitter, and he beats you in accumulation of punches. And as you saw with Axeman and Rigondeaux, it was accumulation of punches that made him quit. Axeman quit in like the 7th round. He quit on the stool, so it's never like a knockout punch. And yeah, Linares, I think that knockout came because we all saw what happened. Whoop.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I got a phone call that came through.
All right. So we go back to Trill. What do you give Vasiliy Lomachenko for speed? You there, Trill?
Yeah, I'm mute, bro.
You on mute, Trill.
If I didn't give Lomachenko a 95, y'all would have thought I was bugging. But I gave Lomachenko a 95. The boy is fast. The way he be letting his hands go sometimes in his exchanges, I was like, wow, he's one of the fastest out of all those Ukrainian guys. I think he's the fastest Ukrainian I've ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I give him a 95. I think he is really, really fast.
95.
That's probably why he can't get guys out there so much, because he ain't sitting down on them shots. He's just letting them go and he's getting out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like how you was saying, the way he fights. It's different from if he wanted to press these guys and get out. Maybe he can have more knockouts, but he's just fast. He's fast.
I respect that. G, what do you give him for speed?
For speed, I gave him a 93. I don't think he's as fast as Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney, but he's still, like Trill said, he's pretty fast. He throws quick counter hooks and quick counter uppercuts, and he has quick combinations. And on top of that, he actually has pretty fast reflexes as well. So 93 for speed.
All right. What I gave Loma for speed, 96. I feel like his speed is definitely elite. He's fast. He always seems to be on the faster side in the ring. It seems like people have difficulty matching his hand speed. And even guys who have decent hand speed, like Rigondeaux and Demetrius Walters, the Axeman, they definitely have difficult time with him. So I give him 96 for speed. I mean, Nicholas Walters, I'm sorry, the Axeman. So I give him 96 for speed.
Yo, and also too, that to add in regards to the Axeman, this dude was knocking everybody out. Like,
I wanted to wait.
Yo, he was going to work on people, and he literally went. That's crazy.
Well, to his credit, you know what I'm saying? We have to be honest here, you know what I'm saying, on Boxer Bros. Even though he didn't, that fight was last minute for him, and he did ask for more time to train. You know what I'm saying? So to his credit, he was called in there last minute and he wanted more time to train. He said if he had more time to train, he would have performed better.
Maybe. I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? My man just quit, bro.
Thanks for clearing that up, Trill.
Nah, I just said, because I know somebody's gonna probably throw that in the comments. Well, true. You know what I'm saying? He was thrown in there last minute. I just had to clear it up. You know what I'm saying?
Salute to the people in the comment section, man. They be on point. I mean, well,
like Nicholas Walters got the call. You know what I'm saying? 2 weeks before.
All right, Ned, what do you give Vasiliy Lomachenko for speed?
I actually agree with you, Kaden. I gave him a 96. Like, there's no lie how fast the man's hands are. And when he faced Gary Russell Jr., who also has very fast hands in that division, he dominated him. He dominated Gary Russell. So that Lomachenko has really fast hand speed.
So you're at 96 for a total of 95. All right, Trill, what do you give Lomachenko for stamina?
I give him 100 for stamina. I give the way he preps for this fight, and maybe it has something to do with the fact of the matter, like he's been here before. The boy has over 400 amateur fights. He only lost one. He can hold his breath for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. That's his record or something.
How you know that, man?
He's crazy. He's a crazy athlete. Pardon me?
Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking. That's his personal best. It's 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Trill's diving deep.
Yeah. Well, shout out to him, man. I never seen him.
Records. You know what I mean?
Trill's coming through.
That's his personal best, and I think that's amazing. Like, this just shows the type of athlete he is. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, like I don't even see him even in the loss against an overweighted Orlando Salinas. You know what I'm saying? Orlando Salinas was, a bigger guy, came in there and was on him, and he still didn't look tired. He came on late. It wasn't enough. It was a split decision loss, but you know what I'm saying? He came on late. I still didn't think he was tired in that fight. Never seen him gassed or tired. So I would have to give him 100 stamina. I haven't seen somebody that take him to that level yet. You know what I'm saying? Even in the Linares fight, he wasn't gassed in that fight, even though he went down by a little shot. You know what I'm saying?
All right. G, what do you give him for stamina?
I agree with Trill. I gave him 100. You know what I mean? He outpunches his opponents, and he does this all while always moving at the same time. From round 1 to round 12. That's spectacular. He doesn't fade. 100 for stamina.
All right, so for me, I gave him 94 for stamina. The reason why I gave him a 94 was, to me, in the Luke Campbell fight, he did look a little tired. He did look a little gassed. And like I said, he had enough stamina to overcome being tired and to finish the fight strong. But Luke Campbell definitely pushed him. And so I've seen moments in there where I felt like he's taking a round off or he's recovering and getting his win back. It doesn't mean that he's bad. 94 is elite stamina. So I don't want people to like jump at me and be like, oh man, you're being a hater. Nah, I've seen moments. I mean, I've seen moments with Floyd in there too, where he takes his breath and he's switching it up. That's what masterful boxers do. They know how to control pace, dictate, get their win, what to do, and he's crafty in there. But I wouldn't give him 100, but I would give him a 94. So, all right.
And he does 3-a-days. He's in great shape. He does 3-a-days also.
94 is great shape to me. I don't know.
I'm just like, yo, how does Trill know this, yo?
I'm telling you, man, Trill went got some inside information.
I'm like, what's going on? You at his training camp, bro?
I like the little guys, man. I'm sorry. I like the little guys. How y'all be knowing these things about the big guys? I know these things about the little guys. You know what I'm saying?
I respect it. You know?
All right, Ed.
Yeah. I wasn't listening when Charles brought this up, but did you bring up him holding his breath underwater?
Yeah, for 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
When I thought y'all was joking for real.
When I saw that in his documentary, I was like, wow, that's dedication right there. Just to like train yourself to a point where most fighters don't train like that, and that was like the first time I ever saw.
So they know watching on Boxer Bros, like I really do this.
I didn't even know he had a documentary. So
yeah, man, yo, trust me, man. You best. He had a couple out there on his channel. Loma, I don't even know Loma. I think it's called Loma's channel or something like that. But yeah,
I gotta go check that out.
I'll give him a 99 because he did get dropped against Linares, but he showed like he wasn't tired when he got back up. So yeah, I give the boy a 99 for his stamina, but his work ethic is crazy.
Hold on. I'm a little confused because Linares dropped him, but he got up and showed no sign of fatigue. You gave him
no sign of fatigue, but 99 is my answer. Come on, G, yo, you be trying to make me go too deep, dive a little too deep.
I was just posing.
All right, so far for power, we have an average of 91. For speed, we have an average of 95. And for stamina, we have an average of 98. Chin, what do you rate Vasiliy Lomachenko's chin?
I'm going to give him a 90.
All right.
That's one thing that always concerned me was his chin. You know what I'm saying? His chin's been questioned before. And then we seen like, that Linares put him down, and we know Linares isn't. Somebody got on me on the comment section because I said ain't once. So it isn't. He isn't a power puncher. And he put him on his behind. So it makes me question him a little bit. I'm not gonna say he has a Amir Khan's chin, but his question there. So I'm just gonna give him a 90.
All right, G.
I give him a 94. I kind of differ with Trill on this one. Linares did drop him with a straight right hand in the 6th round. And, that round, it looked bad because, Lomachenko was kind of pulling a Thurman the rest of that round. However, when I look at Linares, to me, he looks like a welterweight. He doesn't look like he should be in that division. At minimum, I think he probably came in that fight at 140 pounds. Like, he just looked way bigger than Lomachenko. Even though I know he's not known as a knockout artist, just that size alone puts Lomachenko at a major disadvantage,
I think
go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off real quick. I think Linares looks like the perfect 135-pounder. The question is, I don't think that Lomachenko I think Lomachenko looks small.
Yeah,
Lomachenko looks small at
exactly.
135.
Yeah, and so but also in that same fight, in that 9th round, right? Linares hit Lomachenko with a lot of shots. He hit him with a combination, and Loma ate all of them shots, and he didn't like flinch. He didn't fall or nothing. So that was one thing. And then also I remember Campbell, right? He caught him with like a clean uppercut in the 7th round. And literally Lomachenko said, boop, and just kept fighting. Like it was nothing. He ate it like a Scooby snack. So he has a sturdy chin. So I gave him a 94 for chin. I'm actually shocked too that I scored a chin higher than Trill, to be honest. You know what I mean?
You've been generous lately.
I blame the comments now. I'm playing now.
Very generous lately. All right, so I gave him a 95. Linares dropped him. He got back up. He didn't seem too hurt, but it was hard enough to put him down. He was able to go on and win the fight. But to me, the fact that he got dropped, I got to dock 5 points. It's just the way I've been doing business. I don't necessarily think he's chinny, but, you know, you got dropped, man.
Hey, man, we're looking for reasons.
I'm not looking for reasons. I'm just saying, like, to quote Andre Durrell, when after he got, hit with the dirty punch by Arthur Abraham when he got up, I got dropped, man. You know what I'm saying? He got dropped, man. So he got dropped. When you get dropped, TC got dropped. It happens sometimes, man. You get dropped. And so you just dock 5 points for that. But 95 for the chin is still really great. So, if people want to get mad at that, cool. Footwork, Vasiliy Lomachenko.
Hold on.
You didn't get the TPE.
I ain't get my story out.
I felt some BS coming.
Watch your mouth, Kaden.
All right. Just like Trills, I gave the boy a 90. And this is why. We all saw he got dropped by Linares. But when he was fighting Salido would tap him and he would get it would be a quick stun, but you see he'll stop and then he'll resume. Like, so it'd be like, and then he'll go. But it wasn't like I caught that. So I don't know if you guys caught that.
I felt you too. I know what you were saying. But the reason I didn't want to mention that is because, Olito Salinas was a little bit overweight. You know what I'm saying? And he was doing the little bit of the roughhouse tactics. You know what I'm saying?
Salido didn't go there to win the title, to keep the title. He didn't go there for anything. He wanted to whoop Lomachenko's behind. That's what he came there to rough him up. He said,
that's all he came there for, was to rough him up. You
fighting for a title in your second fight, huh? He's high. And if Salidos was going to lose, if Salidos was really like losing and he had no hope, he was going to hit him with a headbutt. I'm telling you, Salidos came there.
He went there for the DQ.
He came there for blood.
Yeah, he came there just to beat up.
That's still his greatest achievement. Salido, tell everyone. He be at the pub. He said, well, I kick Lomachenko's ass every day.
he was like, oh, he's like, I'm a fighter. They be like, oh, really? I never heard of you. I beat Loma.
He said, they want to act like he's undefeated, but I kicked his ass. All right. Trill, what do you give Lomachenko for footwork?
Listen, I talked about his feet work before. I even spoke about his feet work on the Yusuf ratings when I said, do these guys practice together? Lomachenko has the best feet work in boxing. I think that's due to his dad taking him out and putting him into that Ukrainian dance school for 2 years or something, that Russian dance classes or something. That's what he was doing. And it made his beat work unbelievable because he be dancing all over. He be doing unbelievable things. So, yeah, I never do this, but I gave him a 98 on feet work, on his footwork. Excuse me.
Okay. 98.
I don't do 98s. I don't do 98.
I'm so shocked. I'm like, what's going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's usually the 95, the 100s, and the
Yeah,
90s.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, Trill, you good? You know what I mean?
All right, G, what do you give Vasiliy Lomachenko for footwork?
I don't know what's going on today. I gave him 100 for footwork. You know, I have to be honest. That white man can dance. You know, like, I'm being real. I used to think Cubans had the best footwork in boxing, but not anymore. Because of Lomachenko and Usyk. Yo, man, them Ukrainian brothers, they got it, man. So, you know, the way he utilizes angles, the way he gets in and out of range so fast, man, yo, that's a testament to whatever dance school he went to. So salute to him, 100.
I would have gave him a 100, but he couldn't get away from that right hand from Linares. Couldn't dance away from that.
I just feel like, yo, we holding him to a real high standard. You know, like, because he caught, you know, you bound to get hit. Floyd got hit a couple of times, you know, so.
He didn't go down like that, though.
He didn't go down like that. He didn't go down like that.
Oh, man.
No, I gave him a 99. I think for footwork, to get a 100, you have to be, you know, flawless with the footwork. And like Trill brought up, Linares was able to get to him. And of course, like, you're saying, oh, you're being real difficult with the scoring, but not really. 99 is a great score. You're talking about a 1-point deduction for getting dropped one time. But he has arguably the best footwork in the game. However, I mean, he does get hit. He does get caught with some punches. But 99, I think that may be the highest score that I've ever given for footwork to any fighter. So come on now. Like, to me, he probably has the best footwork in the game. So 99 for footwork for Vasiliy Lomachenko. Ned, the cameraman, what do you give him?
Man, listen, yo, first I want to say this. Yo, he got the best footwork in the game. And, yo, y'all bugging, yo. He danced into those punches. It was an accident. He was just moving so fast. Danced into that punch. He got lucky. That's why he got up against Linares. Was like, you're not going to get it again. And he took him out. But I gave that boy 99 for his footwork. And I only deducted the point because he got dropped. So,
Damn,
yeah.
What's going on? Y'all scoring like the old G. You know what I mean?
The OG. Oh, man. All right, Trill, what'd you give Vasiliy Lomachenko for heart?
Oh, the boy is all heart. I give the boy, listen, after his loss, he was trying to chase this boy Orlando Salinas down. Orlando Salinas, he was trying to chase him down. But Orlando Salinas was, you know, saying, hey, you're going to have to pay to beat me up. You know what I'm saying? And he was throwing out crazy prices, you know? But the boy, since he couldn't get Orlando, he went on a warpath. Picking up belts and beating anybody that they put in his path. He got heart. One thing else I wanted to mention was he fights anybody, and he wants to fight anybody. And I've noticed something. Every time Lomachenko, it's time for him. He said, yeah, I want to fight this guy. It seems like it's always the other guy who says something about the money has to be right. The money has to be crazy. I don't think these people realize. I know, yeah. I hope people realize that in these lower weight classes down there, even though Lomachenko is the man and he gets a lot of praise, he's not even getting crazy money like that. So if you thinking that you gonna get 10 million to fight a Lomachenko when he ain't even getting 10 million, and he you know, you're crazy. And I think these guys are pricing themselves out of fighting with a Lomachenko.
They pricing themselves out the game.
Yeah, they pricing themselves out the game because just like Orlando Salinas, like he wanted this fight, but he wanted to be compensated more money than I think that they was able to make off that fight. But I think the boy got hard and he want to make these fights happen.
Did you give me a number?
I gave you 100. He got 100.
G.
All right. So the OG is back. I'm gonna say this. I gave him a 98. And this is where I disagree with Trill. Yeah, Lomachenko called out Mikey Garcia, to fight at 135. He's been calling out Tank Davis for like forever. However, I had to deduct 2 points because he doesn't want no parts of Devin Haney. And Devin Haney has his belt. In fact, when Devin Haney had an opportunity to fight him, he vacated his WBC title and took on the franchise title, which he requested. They didn't offer it to him. He requested. So that tells me you didn't want any problems with Devin Haney. Now,
that tells me he wants some money.
That's what I'm saying. So then now on the podcast, I was too loose with my lips when I was saying all these guys are ducking each other. So I don't want to say it's ducking per se. We need to find another word where a guy is ignoring a person because they don't have the star power at the moment. But it's still weird when you're willing to fight Teofimo Lopez, but you're not willing to fight Devin Haney, when I think Devin Haney has a bigger name than Lopez. You get what I'm saying?
So Lopez top rank. So
yeah. They're on the same side of the street.
Arum's going to have the winner. Yeah, Bob Arum likes to do it like that. You can look at that's why Bradley and Pacquiao fought 3 times. That's why Pacquiao and Marquez fought 4 times.
Exactly.
But
that's
to
how
me,
he likes to do it.
Yeah, but it's something about the fact that Loma, he has your belt though. That's the difference. I can understand if it's like the WBO, whatever. He had your belt that you said, I don't want no parts of this kid. Here, take my belt. You can have it. And so, to me, I had to deduct points, so I gave him a 98.
All right, so on me, for Hart, 95. For basically all the reasons that G said. He did vacate his title, and he did actually be franchise champion. Now, he could have fought Devin Haney, but he chose not to. Now, see, here's the difference, because, people get things, they misinterpret things and they twist things. I'm not saying that Vasiliy Lomachenko's afraid to fight Devin Haney. I'm not saying that he's running because he's scared. But what I will say is he made the decision. It wasn't in his best interest to fight Devin Haney at that time.
Exactly.
And I have to deduct points for that. So people can interpret it however they like. I don't think that Vasiliy Lomachenko looks in the mirror and says, I'm afraid to fight anyone. But you're lying if you don't think he knows that Devin Haney's a little bit different than, say, fighting Rigondeaux, than fighting Nicholas Walters. If you think he doesn't know those things, then you're bugging as well. So he had to look at it as the risk isn't worth the reward. I'm bigger than the belt. Take that belt. So that's what he did. But to me, you still chose to vacate a belt rather than fight a mandatory. So for that reason, I docked him 5 points. But again, 95 is still really good. But of course, you got people who, they love a fighter so much they can't be objective.
Yeah. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you guys and the points that your guys made. But you know what I'm saying? For me, I'm gonna give him 100. I'm not going to take no points away from him for good business.
You got to respect. I'm sorry. Let me just jump in for a second. You got to respect the guy who fought for the title in his 2nd professional fight. In his 3rd professional fight, he fought Gary Russell Jr., undefeated guy who believes
nobody wanted to fight.
Who believes he has the fastest hands in boxing. Then he went and fought the Axeman when he was knocking everyone out and unbeaten. And then he fought Guillermo Rigondeaux. And although Guillermo Rigondeaux is old, what people don't realize is Vasiliy Lomachenko is no spring chicken, folks. He's 32 years old. He's kind of old himself. So
and that's what I was saying too about him now he wants to make smart business decisions. I think now what's coming on, I think he is a little bit older than the other guys, the other champion. He's older. He's the number 1 guy down at the 130s and the 135s. And everybody else that we mentioned is way younger than him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like 10 years younger than him and stuff, like 8 years and stuff like that younger than him. So I think right now, Lomachenko, he's like, I paid my dues. I did all this stuff. Now he wants to make some bread. So he's trying to put himself in the best financial situation he could put himself in.
Yeah, but Trill,
I totally agree with you guys, what you were saying.
Yo, honestly, I feel I'm kind of mad at myself for giving him a 98. I should have dropped it to a 95 because when I think about it, what is the purpose of a franchise belt? To me, Canelo, it makes sense because he's going to different weight classes. Lomachenko doesn't even want to go to 140. He's like, nah. Several times he said, nope, that's too big for me. I'm staying right here. So if that's the case, then you don't need a franchise belt.
Yeah, I always disagree with that. I thought the only person that should have a franchise belt was Canelo.
It only makes only for guys that are going up and down different divisions because you can't have them struggling to fight different mandatories. Lomachenko's not doing that, so he technically got a freebie. So it's like you don't want to be undisputed. So why the hell you even got a franchise belt? Just give up that franchise belt, give it back to the WBC, and just stay as the unified champ that you are.
Well,
and that's it.
I guess he's unified champ right now at 135, correct? And Lopez got a belt, and the other belt belongs to Devin Haney. He's about to fight Lopez, and that will have 3 belts.
Yeah, Lopez.
And that'll be 3 belts, and then maybe after he has the 3 belts, maybe he will want to get it on with a Devin Haney.
I hope. Go get your
wishful thinking.
I'll put you like this: the longer he waits, the worse it's going to be for him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for him.
Yeah. To put it in perspective,
all the time.
Vasiliy Lomachenko's older than Anthony Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
He's older than Andy Ruiz, right? He's older than you think. So, like, this guy doesn't have all the time. So he may want to make sure he has that fight within the next 2 years because
even when you think about, like, Tank's like, what, like 25, 26? You know what I mean? So, like, because Tank was a young champion. So, even Tank is way younger than this dude. So,
yeah, I know that they were trying to make that fight happen, and Tank went down to 130.
Nah, I ain't gonna front. Nah, Tank ducking, bro. Tank's ducking. Like, that's my man's.
I remember when Floyd said, "Oh, Tank versus Vasiliy," and Tank got mad. Well, you just want to throw me away. Floyd was like, "I have faith in you, brother." All right. Because people forget Floyd took dangerous fights on the come up. Like that Diego Corrales, at the time he took Diego Corrales, those were 2 guys before. They could have waited and built it up, but those were 2 guys. Whoever won that fight was destined to go on to bigger things. And so it would be like Vasiliy and Tank meeting at the time when Floyd was saying, but Floyd was believing in him, but Tank was like, hey man, I'm not ready to go in there with that dancing machine yet.
Yeah.
Let me get some more Gamboa work. But I think it's on you, Ned. What do you give Vasiliy Lomachenko for heart?
Man, I ain't know all of that Chop was bringing up like he was ducking Haney like that. But listen, I ain't never known no Russian man to be no punk. I ain't never known a Russian man who was a punk, and I doubt there's any.
He's Ukrainian, bro. Just
Ukrainian. It's on the skirt. Soviet Union, if they ever go by that still, But they got heart. Their heart. They got hearts of steel, man. You know that. So I'm gonna give that boy 100 for heart. And like he came in, they was like, "Oh, we'll give you $1 million to fight this, fight that," and he was like, "Listen, I don't need the $1 million. Just put me in the ring for a championship." And after that,
shame on you.
After that, he went on it. He lost his second fight, but he went on he just took over. He was just doing what he had to do in the sport. Oh man, hold up.
Yeah.
Somebody flagged you.
Phone is dying.
Whatever device he was using was like, shut the hell up.
They're like, your own phone flagged you, bro.
Shut the hell up.
I don't know about all that stuff y'all talking about, but he got heart. Like, yo, stop it, man.
Why are you flagging him? He's giving the same score as Trill.
Nah,
if you're gonna flag me, you gotta flag Trill.
And Trill still is like, nah, he still got heart. This one literally just openly admitted on the podcast or on the episode, I don't know about none of that stuff y'all talking about. All I know is he got heart. And it's like, well, what are you talking about?
Yo, bro, it's like, dog, there's no Russian man. That's a fuck.
I don't know what y'all talking about, man.
Yo,
I don't know what y'all talking about, fam.
Yo, Ned, what's your deal, dog? Like, yo.
Ned's just saying, he feel like, you know, he would you say that he took a short? He felt like he was worried about getting the title instead of the bread. I honestly believe that too. Like I done heard before, like, you know, he didn't have the he wasn't getting paid like crazy during these fights. And I think like now, you know what I'm saying, he wants to do, like, he feels like he's getting older now. Like I said, he's been fighting before in that world boxing thing. He was fighting over there. He had 400 amateur fights. He's been fighting. He got where he's getting older too. He want to start making some money in this sport. He's trying to make some fights that's going to be more realistic. I don't think that that Devin Haney thing was really like ducking, you know what I'm saying? Because he still has an opportunity to get belts with Teofimo Lopez and still stay loyal to his company, and probably even make more money with a Teofimo Lopez than he would with a Devin Haney. So I hate to use the word ducking for him on this one. I think a little bit of this really has something to do with business and diluted decency. You know what I'm saying? And loyalty towards his company. That's why I was strong on 100, because the boy got hard. He got hard. But I totally understand what y'all are saying. As far as, you know, another guy walking around with your belt. Me personally, I would want my belt back. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why I use the word avoid it. To me, like, ducking means you don't want the fight. You're afraid of taking the fight, and like you're ducking that person. Well, I say he avoided him because he realized it just wasn't good for business at the time, and mainly because he respects Devin Haney's skills. I mean,
I agree.
I'll put you like this. Laying it flat and just being 100% real. If he felt like he can walk over Devin Haney, he doesn't give up that belt. If Devin Haney's easy work, if Devin Haney is just another walk in the park, he doesn't give up that belt. I'm convinced of it. You can't tell me if he was going to fight a cream puff, right, that he was going to be like, okay, I'm going to give up the belt. It was because it was Devin Haney that he gave up that belt.
I agree. But just like we was talking about the Lennox Lewis and the Riddick Bowe joint, if I know y'all gonna make me a super franchise champion, give me a nice shiny new belt with some diamonds and extra stuff on it, little twinklets and stuff on there, and I don't have to fight this guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. It makes business sense. That's my point. He avoided the fight because it was, and the same thing, Lennox. You brought up Lennox. When I say Lennox avoided the fight with Riddick because he was going to get the title, I'm not saying Lennox was scared to fight him, but you're putting me in a position where if the fight doesn't happen by December 13th, I'm going to get the belt, and he's going to lose the belt. There's no detriment to me for not making the fight. I'm going to inherit the belt regardless. Even if I think I'm going to beat him, I'm going to get the belt.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm 100% guaranteed to get the belt. If the fight doesn't happen, I'm not going to agree to a fight. The only way I would agree to the fight is if I had to, which they didn't make Lennox have to agree to the fight because they said, we're going to give you the belt if the fight doesn't happen. Is the point. So why the hell would I agree to the fight? Even if I'm not scared, it could be me about the fight, an easy opponent. And they said to me, if y'all don't make the fight happen by a certain date, you're going to get paid and the opponent's not going to get paid. I'm going to get paid anyway. So why the fuck would I fight him? I'm not going to agree to the fight and get the money.
My sentiments exactly.
It's not saying, but you clearly avoided the fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's. For whatever your reasons were, you avoided the fight. Whether if it made business sense, it made business sense. But just don't act like, you know. Don't make it seem like it's something else. What my issue with the whole thing is people say, "Oh, Bo threw the belt in the trash. He didn't want to fight Lennox." No, he threw the belt in the trash because they wanted to give it to Lennox, and he was
going to give it to him anyway.
Yeah, he was.
That's why I wanted you to do another video.
But the point is, you know, sometimes you think people can understand like logic because they automatically take it somewhere where you never said certain things.
But that's their favorite fighter.
Exactly. So they get emotional about it. Mm-hmm. It's not nothing to get emotional about.
Like, you gotta take emotion out of it.
Exactly. If it makes business sense, it makes business sense.
Yo, like perfect example. I'm a Wilder fan, and I'm the first to admit Wilder was ducking Klitschko. Let's just be real, you know, and it's okay. Like, you didn't want that smoke. Boom, it's cool. You know what I mean? You wasn't ready.
And AJ.
I don't. Oh, hey, man, that's debatable. It ain't debatable with Klitschko. It's clear with Klitschko.
But like I said, the other thing that annoys me is like the Lewis fans who will be the first ones to yell Riddick duck Lewis won't say he ducked John Ruiz and Chris Bird.
Bird, yeah.
He might as well have taken that WBA title and throw it in the trash because he didn't want Johnny Ruiz. He might as well have taken that IBF title and throw it in the trash because he didn't want Chris Bird. Mm-hmm. Right? And two of the biggest names on Lennox Lewis' resume is David Tua and Evander Holyfield. Chris Bird beat both those guys too. And Chris Bird beat Vladimir Klitschko. And Lennox Lewis beat Vitaly Klitschko. So you want to call Chris Bird an all-time great too? Because we don't do that in America. But like, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Like all I'm saying is like you can like someone, but just be real about the situation. All I'm saying is it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter who you ask me to fight. You can ask me to fight easy pickings and say you can. If y'all don't make the fight by December 13th, Caden's going to get paid and the other guy's not. I'm not fighting him. Because why? All I gotta say is no. I'm not fighting him, and I'm still going to get paid. Why would I fight him? So you say I still get the title if I don't fight? Why would I fight him? So
and that's why I think the approach that Loma took also. Y'all gonna give me a new shiny belt with some new diamonds and stuff on it, and y'all gonna throw me a party?
Yo, and lastly, since you Lennox fans want to come at me, I'm gonna tell you how what your mans did was even worse. Even worse. Listen, this dude just became the undisputed champion of the world and gave up 2 belts. 2 belts. Didn't want to fight Michael Grant and didn't want to fight Chris Bird. Gave up 2 belts. Riddick Bowe gave up the belt because they set it up to give it to Lennox anyway. Lennox could keep his joints. He could keep them. Lennox said out his own mouth, I have no interest in defending the belts against Chris Bird. Riddick Bowe sent Lennox Lewis offers that he wasn't going to accept because he's going to get that title anyway. He was in Jamaica holding that belt. He wasn't in the UK, but that's another story. Another story. He
don't go there.
In Canada. He didn't win that for the UK.
He's a Canadian.
When he's talking about who's going to win versus Joshua and Wilder, he's picking the USA fighter. But hey, that's none of my business. Hey, listen, that's none of my business. Man. I mean, I just leave that alone.
Man, y'all can't be doing this to my lineup, man. Y'all. Come on. Man.
So what's the overall rating on
no, we didn't IQ. We got one more. We got IQ.
We got IQ. But overall, he said he asked for the overall rating on Hart.
Oh.
Ned said he gave him 100. You want to throw the flag.
Yeah, I'm shocked y'all gonna keep that flag for his 100, but whatever.
Seems
so. Oh, geez.
You're
not welcome in the X no more. You're not welcome in the SB, all right? Just know
that's about the explanation.
All right, so the overall rating for Hart is 98. So now we're at Boxing IQ. Trill, what do you give Vasiliy Lomachenko?
All right.
You on mute.
You on mute. You just muted yourself.
Bro. Yeah, I did that on purpose. You know, I'm in the streets. Got cars running by and everything.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. You in the streets, all right.
I'm in the streets. You know what I mean? I gave him, one thing it showed that he has some smarts. You know what I'm saying? Is that he has one of those therapists that you were saying that Wilder probably need or AJ should have got. It was we did a Boxing Bros episode long time.
Navy SEAL.
Yeah, it was talking about he should have a sports therapist or something, right? And that's something that Lomachenko has on his team. He has a sports therapist on his team to help him with things mentally and what's going on, and help him with the pressures and everything, which I thought was really dope. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I give him a 90. If I had to choose all overall I mean, I know he's been boxing and he has these great physical abilities. It's just sometimes the decisions that he makes in certain fights, like the old Leonel Salinas fight, he could have fought a totally different fight. You know what I'm saying? I know that old Leonel Salinas was fighting dirty, but there was things he could have did. I'm not gonna go into it right now, but there's things he could have did to make it more easier for him, like box a little bit more. Sometimes he likes to mix it in a little too much, where he has all these other gifts, where he could just box circles around people. You know what I'm saying? And that's what led to him, I believe, getting caught by Linares, staying in the pocket just a little too long. You know what I'm saying? Times he showed heart, and I think, you know, he gets in there, the passion sometimes takes over in his head. I remember one time he was in there with, I think it was Jason Sosa or something, and he hit him with a shot, and he was like, come on, and brought him, was like, come back over here to over here, and he waved him in here to fight Machismo one-on-one, ended him getting caught by a shot. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do nothing to him, but he got caught by a shot. So I think a little bit of that, I gave him a 9.
All right, Trill gives Vasiliy Lomachenko
Sometimes his heart is bigger than his head sometimes.
a
And
90.
maybe that's going to get him in trouble with a puncher one day.
G, what do you give him?
I'm gonna say this again. Trill, we were like this, man. I don't know what's been going on lately, man. Like, we were always on point with these ratings. Now it's like, golly, man. I gave him a 95. So Lomachenko got good defense. He has great head movement. He has good punch selection. Even when he's fighting, and this kind of goes to what Trill's saying, even if he's fighting somebody bigger than him, he still is the aggressor, right? And so, you know, and I think the strategy is, I'm going to make my opponent uncomfortable. And because he makes them look, he makes them so uncomfortable, they get frustrated. And so I think that's another reason why, you know, Walters and Rigondeaux, they quit, because they getting so many shots. They can't let off on this dude. They're just like, damn, there's nothing I could do. So they just go like, hey, you know what? I'm done. So because of that, he makes elite fighters look ordinary. And on top of that, he might be arguably the most technical fighter today. And I remember on an interview on Fight Hype, right? He talked about how he's so technical at times, he could fight guys that are bigger than him and make the fight boring. So he goes, I'm aware of my fans. So I mix it up because I know the way that I fight, people could be like, oh, this is a boring fight. So I think he takes risks to become a bigger star. And it's unfortunate because, to me, the casual fan doesn't really appreciate the sweet science, right? Boxing fans do. Casuals, not so much. So I think he's aware that he's trying to become a bigger star. I'm pretty sure Top Rank is telling him, hey, yo, you got to exchange more. Go for the knockout. ESPN's like, yo, man, we need more ratings. Yo, you gotta level up. So I think it's that pressure. And so because of all of that.
Doesn't want to be a Zondi Laura.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, yo, man, do you want to be that dude that everyone's like, nah, I'm straight. You're good. You know what I mean? Everyone's ducking, but you're not a star because you're boring, you know? And so he's at that crossroads. And so because of that, I gave him a 95.
All right, so it's on me. Oh yeah, I wrote in your 95. All right. I gave him a 95. Here's the reason why I gave him a 95. I deducted 5 points for the Orlando Salido fight. And here's why. I think he had to learn a professional lesson. Now, he had over 300 amateur fights, and amateur style is technical boxing, scoring points for clean punches. That's the way it's supposed to be. When you get to the pros, there are a number of things that matter that they don't really score in the amateurs, like body punches, for example. But also, it gets rough in there. It gets dirty in there. And sometimes the younger fighters who are coming up from the amateurs making the transition to the pros take a long time to figure out what type of tactics you need to employ in certain type of fights. I'll give you an example. Felix Trinidad, one of my favorite fighters of all time, when he was fighting Fernando Vargas, he dropped Fernando Vargas early, had Fernando Vargas hurt. Fernando Vargas showed so much courage, stayed in the fight, and he ended up dropping Felix Trinidad later on in the fight. And he was coming on in the fight, and Trinidad hit him with a low blow.
Some sucker shit.
Intentionally. No, but that's what you call intelligence. You stop the momentum, you get a break, they get a warning. That was the old school way. But what you're supposed to do when you're Fernando Vargas, you're supposed to come right back out there and hit him low, right? See, Anthony Joshua let Andy Ruiz hit him behind the head and still try to fight him clean. No, once Andy Ruiz hits you behind the head, you hit him behind the head. Once he's targeting hooks behind your head, you target hooks behind his head. And you look at him and say, this is what we're going to play, then I'm going to play just like that. But when I hit you with a hook behind the head, it's going to hurt you way more than it's going to hurt me. Oh, in the clinches, he's swinging behind your head. You hit him back behind the head. And see, what people don't realize, I saw Tyson Fury do that with Deontay Wilder. He hit Fury behind the head, so Fury hit him behind the head. That's how you handle. That's how you handle business as a pro. Sometimes you got to handle stuff yourself. And Vasiliy Lomachenko in the Orlando Salido fight, he let him get away with so much stuff because he still had the amateur technical, be clean, keep it sportsmanship. He should have clocked Orlando Salido's to his stuff. He should have hit him with an elbow. He should have got dirty with him. And I think that's what he regrets the most. And that's why he was chasing Orlando Salido, trying to get another fight. Like, oh, I understand the pro game now. Let's get it on and popping. But he didn't know that at that time. And that's why I deduct 5 points from him. Like he was, and you can know it, but you have to be in the moment. You have to experience it. And I think like for Vasiliy Lomachenko,
that was his first time experiencing that.
Exactly. And I think because he probably seen it like watching, but no one ever did it to him. And he's thinking, I still got enough skill to get around. It's like, bro, now he knows. And Orlando Salido knew after he gave him that lesson. It's like you said about Floyd Mayweather giving Canelo the lesson.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Orlando Salido gave Vasiliy Lomachenko that lesson. So, it's going to be very tough to bully him around the ring now because he knows if you want to get dirty, I'm going to get dirty with you. So I deducted the 5 points for that reason. He had to learn that lesson. So, All right, Ned.
Nah, I agree with you. And not to steal your talking points, but I'm going to steal your talking points. That was pretty – I like how you did that. You got to know the playing field you're playing on. And when he fought Salido was dirty, and I guess he wasn't used to that type of fighting or that type of fighting style or those type of fighters. And he didn't know how to counteract that. So that's where I made my deductions. And I kind of seen like, all right, he's too much of a clean fighter. And like when you said – and AJ Ruiz too, when Ruiz tried to hit him in the back of the head or something like that, AJ realized, oh, we're not playing at this fight. He made it clear we're not playing at this fight. And also against Linares, he did get caught, so that kind of showed you, like, you could do too much for your own good instead of being really analytical, and that's where my score came from.
What was your score?
95. 95.
I was a little harsher in the IQ. I figured like he know better. Over 400 amateur fights, and you was in the World Series of boxing, and then you come over here, you should know better. No.
No, I feel you. 90's still a really good score, like I said.
Yeah, 90's good.
People be in their feelings about it. Yeah. But let's go to the average. So for power, the average is 91. For speed, the average is 95. For stamina, the average is 98. For chin, the average is 92. For footwork, the average is 99. For heart, the average is 98. For boxing IQ, the average is 94. For an overall of 95. Trill dollar bills individual overall rating for Vasiliy Lomachenko is 95. G's individual overall ranking is 96. Ned's individual overall ranking is 95. And my individual overall ranking is 95 for Vasiliy Lomachenko. So it looks like everybody's in the same ballpark.
Yeah, we all got to the same place.
Yo, that's crazy. I think it's my first time ever having the highest overall.
Oh, 96?
That's kind of
about
wild.
1 point. You only got about 1 point.
Hey, man, I usually be like 10 points off from y'all. So
hey, yo, I gotta give a shout out to Ned. I gotta get Ned. You on mute, I think. I gotta give a shout out to Ned for actually reaching the same overall as the majority of everyone else on the panel. So shout out.
I tried this episode, fellas.
This is an
I
amazing
had to dig
episode.
deep for this one.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. It's the Boxing Bros.
We in the